Well, hello there, my dear children of the apocalypse. How are we doing today? Welcome back to our 52 weeks of self-improvement in 2023, and welcome to a slightly more controversial opinion. I've missed doing these, to be honest. Based on personal experience and really just the way that I live life, I've noticed that there are two types of people, two distinct types of people throughout your walk of life. You have the lucky people and you have the unlucky people. Now, all the way back when I still used to stream War Thunder, I actually used to say that I hated the word luck. And the reason for it is that I thought, and I still do, that luck is actually an excuse for success. So when we do it for other people, it's a little bit of wishful thinking, really. It's the case of, you have somebody that's, let's say they're not quite a friend, they're a relative, somebody that you know of, and they've succeeded. Their business took off, they got a nice girlfriend, they got rich, whatever the case might be. And you'll just say, they're just lucky. He won all of these things because he's just lucky. It's removing the actual effort that that person had to put into it, which you don't get to see. Nobody gets to see the actual effort. And you're disqualifying their goal, their result, their end game based upon, really just, it's just luck. And we do the same thing on the opposite end of the spectrum, is where we don't put enough work into something. We're sloppy, we're lazy, we're procrastinating, and then we just say, we're so unlucky I failed this exam. I'm so unlucky I didn't get a date with that girl. I'm so unlucky that I didn't get the job interview. Most of the time, it has nothing to do with luck or not luck. It has everything to do with your effort, your perseverance, You're starting to get the theme of these videos, don't you? It's all about discipline. And so I've noticed that there are two types of people that still are, under some sort of universal rule, inherently either lucky or unlucky. Now, I was reading this book a while back, and one of the segments that jumped into my head was this whole concept that you are your luck's own creator, right? If you create these environments in which you can do well, if you create positive situationships almost, where things can go and improve and go your way, then you've automatically created an environment which is much likelier to produce luck results. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have that problem, and the problem is the unlucky person. Now, I'm going to ask you a question now, and I want you to really think about it, like really close your eyes and just give it a couple of seconds. Have you ever in your past, or perhaps in your present, been surrounded by a particular individual who seemingly is always unlucky? This is the guy who gets nothing done. This is the guy who can't get a task from beginning to end. This is the kid who in school kept failing all the exams, was the worst person to be on the team with when it came to doing project work. I think by now you have a name. I think by now you know exactly who I'm talking about. And that guy, he's just unlucky, right? See, it has nothing to do with luck, and it has nothing to do with him being, struck or, waking up with your left foot or, the moon is too close. It has everything to do with that person's lack of discipline. And if you really think about it, you're going to start seeing the pattern. Now, the next thing I'm going to say obviously will sound a little bit offensive to some people, but you should remove these people from your life, or at least remove yourself from their lives. Maybe that's the healthier way of doing it. Because you are the sum of the 5 people you hang out with the most. We covered that in a video earlier this year, and it's true. And if you're going to keep surrounding yourself with people who are unlucky all the time, you're going to start becoming unlucky all the time as well. I also used to believe in this concept of karma. And not karma in the sense that, you do good and good will come to you. That part of karma, I think, is just a universal truth. But I used to believe in this case where, if I get a certain amount, like if 5 things happen to me that are lucky, then there's bound to be 5 things that happen that are unlucky. And I used to live that sort of mantra, thinking that there's this, balance, this equilibrium that has to be set in the world, otherwise something will break. And it has nothing to do with that. Because success, luck, love, all these things, they're accumulative. They start to happen as we put in the effect. They're snowballers. You start with a tiny snowball, and as you're rolling it, it accumulates more and more and more snow and eventually it becomes massive. And by the time it's become massive, people will look at you and they'll think, oh man, that kid's got a giant snowball. He's going to make the biggest snowman of them all. Oh, he's so lucky. It's like, no, he's just been out there since 6 a.m. rolling the bloody ball. That's the thing. Now, I know that this hurts to hear because we've all got that one friend that we like we just like them. They're a good person to be around. Maybe they're extremely fun. Maybe they're quirky. Maybe they do things that they cause the entire group to sort of laugh at, maybe his expense or her expense. But the reality is that when you're surrounded by that person, you're inherently surrounded by this unluckiness. And it's not that it's unlucky, it's the lack of discipline, it's the lack of devotion, it's the lack of hard work. And when you look at that person, what tends to happen is that you're becoming a little bit more like them. And what's also happening is that you're assimilating. You're taking their qualities and painting them onto you. And you might think in your naive, empathetic and sympathetic mind that, okay, so I'm a devoted person, I'm dedicated, I've got all these, good qualities. If I hang out with them, wouldn't they take some of my qualities? Wouldn't they become more disciplined if I'm disciplined? Wouldn't they take some of this luck from me? And, maybe I can help them out. Remember what we said about the white knight? It works everywhere. And the reason why it's so very naive is because it does not function that way. Think of a chess player, right? The only way you're going to learn how to play chess well is by playing against people who are better than you, not by playing against people who are worse than you. I will beat them every single time. I could play, with half of the focus. In fact, the opposite starts to happen. I actually start to lose my skill. I actually start to get sloppy myself. I actually start to make mistakes. But this time, I blunder a piece. Oof, no, I lost my knight. I still know I'm going to win because I'm the better player. But the next time I'm going to play somebody who's actually better than me, I'm going to be at a disadvantage because my mindset is going to think I'm better than everybody else, when reality is I've actually lost the edge that I used to have. What I want you to take away from today's video is to not surround yourself with unlucky people, because it's not worth it, and it's an unequal exchange of power, of effort, of skill, of knowledge, of energy. Surround yourself with lucky people. Surround yourself with people who do get stuff done, people who do get the girl, people who do finish school, people who do get the job, and people who just get it. Because trust me, in the long term, it's easier for you, for them, and for the rest of the world. And for those who are unlucky, and you might think, oh, you've just left them out to dry, they're going to have to get there the hard way. Just the way that you and I and everybody else did. Because fair doesn't always have to be easy. Take care. I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.